had a whole piece written for you this week. It was scripted out, word for word, references checked, feedback from people I trust. I'd edited it and everything. Not only did I know exactly what I was going to say, but I had it done in advance when normally I'm a last minute kind of person. I was so proud of myself that I had my prep done on Thursday to record on Sunday. But this weekend I got to witness the community do something extraordinary, and it changed the entire plan. On Friday, I got a call from a family that we had been trying to raise money for. The time had run out on their eviction. They had not received the mom's unemployment. Her husband wasn't eligible at all. And the sheriff was there to remove them from their home. They were left with nowhere to go, with 2 kids, 1 disabled, and they were $1,000 short of the cost to move into the new place. So they gave permission to kick the fundraising into emergency mode. As soon as word hit social media of how desperate the situation was, support just started pouring in. They got donations and post shares from as far away as Canada. In a little over 48 hours, the community had taken this family from calling around to see whose floor they were going to be able to sleep on to signing the lease on the new place. This is what community can do when we pull together. Divine intervention doesn't mean sending a flood or a fire or an earthquake or smiting down a shady landlord. It means sending us. It means putting us where we need to be to see what has to be done. From there, it's our responsibilities to get off our butts and actually do it. It's a common thread across cultures that we are expected to take responsibility for the suffering of those around us. And that any suffering that we don't act to relieve is a shame on us. It's our own shame. In ancient Ireland, if you had a grievance against somebody, you could go and sit outside their door, refusing food, until they were forced to come to a resolution with you. Because one of the greatest shames a person could endure, one of the most humiliating things that could be said about a person was, he left his neighbor to starve. During the Great Depression, evictions and foreclosures were met with heavy resistance. When foreclosed farms were put up for auction, many communities would pack the spaces where the auctions were held and just refuse to bid, so that the people who had been displaced could buy back their farms at a fraction of what they owed. In a time when so many people lost everything, solidarity from their neighbors was what allowed people to keep their homes and their livelihood. In fact, some anthropologists argue that this sense of responsibility for our neighbors is as old as humanity itself. There are a lot of factors that have been credited as the starting point for human civilization. But my favorite view argues that the earliest indication we have is a skeleton that was found with a healed, broken femur bone. That means that a person who couldn't hunt, couldn't work, couldn't contribute, and who would have slowed down the movements of the group, received enough care over months to recover and to live for years later. Taking care of our neighbors is a part of what makes us human. And as we've seen this week, it changes lives. We have the power to make the world better as long as we work together.